Another example of a story where a guy was falsely accused, got his life ruined, was ultimately found innocent, and everyone is like, oh, well, yeah, he was found innocent, so the false accusation doesn't matter, right? A Boston doctor, 33, accused of masturbating in front of teen girl on airline, is found not guilty months after being canceled over baseless allegations. Now's the time to sue. Oh, they're gonna destroy my life over baseless allegations. All right. Well, you better hope those allegations turn out to be true, because if they're not, you're gonna owe me, and owe me big. So, a Boston doctor is found not guilty of masturbating in front of a teen girl while on an airplane after having to step down from his job over the accusations. Lawyers for Dr. Sudipta Mohanty, 33, said more than a dozen passengers sitting in seats near Mohanty and the flight attendant said they didn't see anything consistent with the accusation. He is just that good, I guess. So Mohanty has said the accusation and trial have been incredibly difficult for himself and his family for a crime he didn't commit. Well, he should be reimbursed for it. In a written statement, Mohanty, who worked at Boston Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, said, my fiance was sitting next to me on that flight, and neither of us can understand why this happened to us. Well, because someone wanted to be a victim for attention. That's why it happened. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I've dedicated my life to caring for others as a physician, and it has been heartbreaking to step away while I dealt with these false accusations. Time to sue. So Mohanty opted for a bench trial, meaning his acquittal was handed down by a judge, not a jury. He had been indicted on one count of lewd, indecent, obscene acts on an aircraft. Did they seriously have a separate category for this when it's done on an aircraft? Really? Okay. I mean, that's fine, I guess. Investigators had said Monty was a passenger aboard a Hawaiian Airlines flight from Honolulu to Boston in May of current year -2, when a female companion was seated next to a 14-year-old girl traveling with her grandparents who were sitting nearby. About halfway through the flight, investigators said the 14-year-old said she noticed that Monty had covered himself with a blanket up to his neck and his leg was bouncing. Shortly thereafter, the minor said the blanket was on the floor, no longer covering Mohanty, and Mohanty was masturbating, according to prosecutors. And yet no one else on the plane saw it, though. Only she did. And of course, there was no pre-cum or jizz anywhere either. So that yeah, totally happened. Totally happened. So the girl was traveling with the grandparents, who were also asleep across the aisle from her, and claimed Mohanty pulled the blanket away, exposing himself and ejaculating. So there you go. You should have evidence. So the minor moved herself to an empty seat in a different row. Arriving in Boston, she told family members, and police were notified. Now, acting U.S. Attorney Joshua Levy said he was disappointed in the outcome, but he respects the verdict. So you saw the evidence or lack thereof, right? And you're still disappointed in the outcome? That's a bit odd. In a statement, Levy said, our office has no reservations about having proceeded with this case. Our office remains steadfast in supporting victims, particularly minor children, even if they're not actually victims and they made the whole thing up. It is crucial that victims know they can come forward and they will be heard and fully supported by our office. Monty's lawyer, Claudia Lago, said the accusations have been devastating. In a statement, she said, Dr. Monty is a talented, dedicated medical doctor. I wonder if he still is. I mean, he's definitely not working at the same hospital. He has absolutely no history of wrongdoing whatsoever. The last 6 months have been a bizarre nightmare for him, and he's relieved, or that is finally over, so he can rebuild his life. Hopefully with some extra money from the false accuser to help him rebuild said life. If you destroy someone's life, you should be held financially liable. Yeah, it should be it should be that girl's family's responsibility to cover for this now. That's sue everyone that claims it happened. Yeah, you need to do that, man. Yeah, children never lie. I'm sure. They can never be coached into lying either, actually. All right, Mohanty has faced a sentence up to 90 days in prison, 1 year of supervised release, and a fine as much as $5,000. So let me just say this. He already paid a much higher price. He lost his doctor job at a hospital. I'm quite sure he lost way more money than $5,000. So he's already been punished way harsher than the punishment for this crime is, and he didn't even commit the crime. I think our so-called justice system is broken. So Mahanti of Cambridge works as a doctor at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston. The hospital said last year he is no longer practicing at the hospital. I wonder if he left voluntarily or if they forced him out. Would be interesting to see who else he decides to sue, because that might give some of that away. But there you go. Another case of a guy being proven innocent in court, and yet his life got upended anyway. Just the accusation is enough.